weather upon us and nights getting shorter, we really are looking for some quick and easy recipes in the kitchen. This is a quick but a little bit different chili recipe that I think everybody's really going to enjoy. For today's recipe, you'll need 1 pound ground turkey, a can of diced tomatoes and green chilies, 1 can chicken broth, low sodium, a can of kidney beans, garbanzo beans, black beans, some cumin, cinnamon, salt, olive oil, hot sauce to taste, and some diced onions. What we're going to start with first is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan, just enough because all we're doing really is sauteing our onions. And it does call for about 1 small onion. But if you don't like onion, or if your family would prefer, you can just leave them out. They're just an added seasoning. And you notice whenever I put my olive oil in there, the pan was hot. And we do want the pan to be hot when you put oil in it because it does help with kind of the sauteing and the stir frying process. You want to keep these stirred around and keep them going until they're tender and translucent. Like I said, this is a really good, nutritious chili recipe. Has a ground turkey in it, so we really cut back on the fat. Most of our natural chilies, we do add some fat to it if it's a deer chili, but a lot of us just use hamburger chili, and so sometimes it can get a little bit on the greasy side. With this, it's got the ground turkey, so you cut back on that. It's loaded with protein because we have the 3 different kinds of beans in it. And for a chili recipe, it's relatively low in sodium, which is another thing that most standard chilies are pretty high in. Instead of using a lot of salt, we're going to use things like the cumin and the cinnamon, which give us a really good contrast in flavors. So it's a really neat recipe, something that you can try that's a little bit different. Now for time's sake, I've already got my ground turkey already fried up and in the bowl. What you would do at this point though, if you were at home, get your onions sauteed and then you could just add in your raw ground turkey. You do want to make sure that you cook it until it's no longer pink. We really want to make sure that any of our ground poultry or ground meats are up to about 165 degrees in order to be safe. Really not as big of a deal in this recipe since we're also going to simmer it for quite a while to get all of our flavors to blend. Okay. And at this point, we're just going to start adding in the rest of our ingredients. Like I said, we've got some kidney beans, and we have taken those out of the can and rinsed them. Our black beans the same way. And then these are our garbanzo beans, and I just drained those. I didn't need to rinse them. That's something that we don't use a lot of, but garbanzo beans can really add a lot of flavor and texture to a dish. I'm going to kind of give that a quick stir. Then we're going to add in our tomatoes and green chilies, our chicken broth, and like I said, this is a low sodium chicken broth. Then our cumin, a little bit of salt, our cinnamon, and then a little bit of hot sauce to taste. I'm just going to do just a tiny bit there, and then you can taste it for yourself once it gets blended together. If you need to add a little bit more at the end, that's something very easy that you can do. This is a really colorful chili, which I like. If you've seen any of the Food Corner episodes, I'm always talking about colors and textures, and this is one of those recipes that is dead on adding a lot of variety to your meal. We're gonna let that simmer 20 minutes minimum. If you can let it simmer and really stew just a little bit longer, the better it's gonna be because those flavors are really gonna blend. We've let our chili simmer and cook down a little bit, and you can see that it is really has a good consistency and good color, and so it's ready to dish up. You know, this recipe, like I said, is a great alternative to a traditional chili. This recipe serves 6, and each bowl is only about 261 calories, which is a really good average for your meal. It also is very high in fiber and very high in protein. We have 7 grams of fiber and 26 grams of protein in one bowl. And so this is a great option for a good, hearty winter meal. Be sure to come back to the Food Corner, part of newstar.com, for more demonstrations and recipes. And if you have any questions, contact the Pottawatomie County OSU Extension Office. We'd like to send a great thanks to Rock Creek Baptist Church for letting us use their facilities today. And remember, eat better, eat together.